Hello and welcome to Kyiv. Actually, welcome back to Kyiv. If you remember, I was briefly here on the way to Lviv when I first landed in Ukraine. You can watch that video right here. Anyway, what I've done is selected like a top 5 things to do in Kyiv, and I've broken my tour between the north part of the city and the south part of the city. And the reason I've done that is because Kyiv is just so big that it would be pretty much impossible to see the entire city in a couple of days like I've got. So yeah, let's see how we get on. Let's see what Kyiv has in store and let's enjoy the city. Let's go. So there she is, the Motherland Monument, keeping a watch over the people of Kyiv. And actually, she looks a lot bigger than she is. So in total, from the tip of the sword to the base of the statue is 62 meters, but including the museum underneath, it's 104 meters. And she towers over the rest of the city. So in the surrounding areas, you're able to pretty much see her wherever you are. And in the base is the names of 11,600 people that died during the Second World War. And so she becomes this eternal reminder over the city of Kyiv of what happened. A pretty amazing place, and I'd recommend coming here. One of the things that's easy to forget when you're in the relative peace of Kyiv or Lviv or Odessa or wherever it may be in Western Ukraine is that there is still a war going on. And this has been going on with Russia since 2014, and still today there are people dying, soldiers dying. When I left my hotel yesterday, on the corner of the street was a memorial to a soldier that had just fallen within the last weeks. And so coming here, it's a pretty strong reminder of what the country continues to go through, a lot like the cemetery in Lviv. It's a reminder that there is still a fight for the country underway, and there are still people that are giving their life for Ukraine. So, pretty amazing place. I've come to my second stop on my tour in Kyiv, and it's the Pechersk Lavra. And this is a cave monastery, and it's also one of the oldest Eastern Orthodox churches in the world. And it's been at this site since 1051. So I'm going to go try and look for the cave, and hopefully we can have a look and see what it's about. When you come to the ticket office, you get 2 options. One is just the basic, and the other one is a little bit more expensive, 60 hryvnia more, but you get the option to climb the bell tower. And I would say for that 60 hryvnia, it's definitely worth it for the views at least. So to even get into the cave, I've got to put on one of these little things to cover my legs. And women also have to do the same, cover the shoulders and cover the head. Classic. That was a really interesting experience. I don't think I've ever witnessed anything like that. So actually you're not allowed to film down there, and for the reason that there's the decaying bodies, I guess, of spiritual or religious people down there. And alongside that, there was a prayer hall where groups of people were chanting prayers, and you're in a cave system underground, surrounded by dead bodies and people praying out loud. It was definitely a surreal experience and something to come to. I would note though that the cave systems are found away from the Lavra, and so it takes a bit of a walk around to come and find it, because actually this area is a bit like a city in a city. But just ask someone. There are also a few signposts and they'll tell you the way. Behind me is the museum to the Holomodor genocide, and unfortunately it's under reconstruction. Maybe you can hear that. But if you're here at any time after August 2021, then come and check it out. It's an important piece of history and definitely something that should be learnt about. On my list of top C's, you must come to the Mariinskyi Palace. It is the residency of the president, and it is a pretty spectacular architectural feature. I don't think the president's in though, otherwise I would have liked to have had a bit of an interview with him. Let's see. Can we get in? Nah, blocked. But otherwise, a pretty great place to come and view the house. And when you're finished at the residency of the president, you can come to the Park Bridge, which is a little bit further down the road, and you can get an amazing view. Lucky for me, I've just got to the next stop on my tour, the People's Friendship Arch, and there is a skate tournament on at the moment. So let's see what the skating's about. But first, one of the best parts of this part of the tour is the view over the city, over the Dnipro River. And here, in the center of Kyiv, we have the wall dedicated to the thousands of men and women that have lost their lives in the Russia-Ukraine war. I know I've said this before, but it is really crazy to think that this is still going on since 2014, and so many people have died because of it. My final recommendation for Kyiv is simple. It is just the city at night. And there is one reason why that is, and that's because this city comes to life, and no more so than here in Maidan Nezalezhnosti. I think I said that right, I probably didn't. Otherwise translates to Independence Square. And it is life at its best. It is colorful water fountains, live music, live performers, people coming here, meeting each other. It is amazing, and definitely should be on your list to come to, not only for the picturesque views, not only for the dancing waterfalls, but to come and experience Kyiv life.